Hello, crypto world. Friday morning stock market basically unchanged. It's up slightly. The S&P's up, the tech-heavy Nasdaq's up, the Dow's down a little bit. But the big story in the background are two issues. The EU and the United States have yet to come to terms with respect to tariffs, and we're seeing many pundits say that the bull market in equities could pause as the trade negotiations, i.e. tariffs, drag on. Now, remarkably, there was a press conference held just a few minutes ago, and Trump said that there was maybe less than a 50% chance he could make a deal with the EU, which was rather pessimistic, all things considered. And the president also addressed the dollar because he was asked how he felt about the fact that the dollar was declining so radically, and he said, well, he psychologically likes the idea of a strong dollar. For business purposes, a weaker dollar is more beneficial. And we know in order to get the dollar weaker, one of the tools is to lower interest rates. Now, many people expect the Fed in September to lower rates. Very few, if any, expect them to lower at this meeting next week. But the percentage that believes that the rate will be lowered in September has gone up. It was round number 52%, and now it's 63%. Believe that the Federal Reserve will lower interest rates in September. And when we jump over to crypto, it's mixed with, if you will, more red than we would like to see. One of the issues is Bitcoin was showing relative strength, and now it's beginning to back off, and it's actually down on the week. And part of the reason, there has been a movement of approximately $3.7 billion worth of Bitcoin moved to exchanges. Now, the movement to an exchange doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be sold, but most often it does, and there has been an uptick in volume. And of course, it's been on the sell side. So that's what's causing the weakness in Bitcoin. In addition to the movement of over $3 billion of Bitcoin to exchanges, we have the derivative market. July 27th has a maximum pain price of 118. The July 28th, one day later, has a maximum pain price of 116. So that suggests that the market makers and the whales on the derivative market are, if you will, pushing down the underlying, in this case, Bitcoin. But we do have to mention Ethereum showing relative strength compared to the other cryptos, and this is primarily because BlackRock is trying to get the SEC to approve the ability of its ETF to stake Ethereum and pay interest. So that's helping the price of Ethereum. Now, we're going into the weekend. Let's see what happens today, but I don't expect a great upward movement in the weekend unless there is positive news. But I also don't expect any major drop-off, because what we're seeing here, take a look, is we're already down a little bit. So let's see what happens today. But the weekend is going to be key, and I don't expect any drama, absence any big news, in particular with respect to the EU and the United States coming to some tariff agreement.